This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2019 XLR Thunderbolt. Fifth wheel trailer, it's also a toy hauler. So let's move to the rear here. You can see, first of all, you have a level up system which has six contact points, so 6 jacks on it. It automatically levels the trailer and retracts it back to hitch height. We'll talk more about that when we get to the control panel. There's 2 different control panels for it. Okay, so here, let me come back here. So this obviously is your garage door. There's the door side rear level up stabilizer. You got triple axles. Of course, you have 2 awnings that are automatic awnings, power awnings with LED strips on them. Your slides are called AccuSlides. That's the brand that they are, just so you know. All right. Also, your steps. To adjust the length of the legs, you can just pull this pin out. There's one on each side, and you can adjust them accordingly. Of course, you have the outside speakers. This is TV signal out and some power, so you can set a TV out here. Okay, your basement, pass-through basement. Okay. Your generator is behind this door here. Now you can, if you pull the green panel off the front, you can operate it from there, but generally speaking, you're going to use the touch screen inside. Okay, those are 2 30-pound LP tanks full. All right, and then you got 2 27 series deep cycle marine batteries, and they're wired together as 12 volts, so it's just double the storage capacity, which is important, especially with the leveling system. If you get your voltage gets around 12, a little below 12 volts, I guess a little below 12 volts, it will not function out very well. If we were to check this, we could check on the other one. It's probably 13.4 right now, which is perfect. Okay. This is your kill switch for your battery. If you want to disconnect the battery from the coach, you just turn it off and it disconnects them. Right now it's on, of course. And you're always going to leave it on unless you're in storage. That's the thing. So, okay, so here is your water here. So first of all, you have your hookups. There's a black tank, a flush. You have 2 black tank flushes in here because there's 2 toilets. There's just a basic toilet with a sink in the back, and then your actual bathroom is up front. So this would be the black tank for the front toilet, the front bathroom. This is your city water hookup. This is the most common way to get water to the trailer. You just hook the hose on and turn it on and you're all set. Now if you go to a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsite, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here. Put the hose on there, fill it up, and then you can use the onboard pump to pump the water. All the plumbing will still operate like you have city water, even though you don't. Okay. This is the sprayer hookup. There's your sprayer right there. That's just a valve, and this is the winterizing system here. You can pull this out or connect a hose to it, and you draw antifreeze through there when you're winterizing. You can just retract it away. Okay. Also, to bypass your water heater before you winterize, it's right here. Okay. This is your basic auto level pad here. There's directions right here. Now there's the touch screen inside has a lot more options. So this basically you can auto level with this one. You can return it to hitch height, which is basically hitch height is before you auto level, after you've disconnected from your tow vehicle and you push auto level, it'll remember that hitch height. So you can just slide right back underneath it with your truck and hook right up to it without having to raise it and lower it. So that's why you would push hitch height. That redirects the 4 back jacks and adjusts the front ones to the last height. Okay? Hopefully that made sense to you. You can also retract all, which just brings them all up. Okay. So the only thing to know is to turn this on. There's no off switch, but to turn it on, you just push both the arrows at the same time, and there you have it. Okay? All right. So, of course, that's the exhaust for your generator. These 2 lines here, the red and the blue, those are low point drains for when you winterize and de-winterize. Okay, of course I mentioned you have AccuSlides. Okay. this is your black tank flush for your rear tank. Okay. And you also have some more dump valves for the back here. Okay, if you can see them under there, hopefully. Okay. This is your generator fill for gasoline, and this is your gas pump fill for your gas pump here. Let me see which key this is here. It's probably this one here, I would bet. I hope. That's pretty snug. Let's see here. I guess I should have checked these beforehand, huh? There we go. So let me pull that out of there. So there's your pump hose and nozzle, and this is your switch and gauge right there for your fuel station. Now you have to have, well, you have to look at in the manual, or else we could talk to someone you come to pick it up. I think it's 5 gallons you have to have in here for it to run properly. I have to check though, so we'll look at that and I'll have the answer for that for you. Your ladder, it's good to have a ladder built in because you can inspect the roof real easily. All you have to do is go up there every 90 days and inspect the roof, make sure there's no cracking or sealing, separation, that sort of thing. I said sealant, not sealing. You also want to check the lids on the vents, make sure they're not cracked. You can check the rubber material that the roof's made out of, make sure it wasn't damaged with low branches, that sort of thing. You just give it a general overall inspection. You don't have to, you can send anybody up there, obviously, just be very careful. And it's important to inspect it regularly, so make sure you do that. That's not this trailer, it's every trailer ever made needs to be inspected on a regular basis. So, okay. Also, you can see there's an awning here. You have a backup camera there, but this one also, I think is let me look here before I go any further. Yeah. So you have the option of a backup camera. Okay. We're not going to drop your door in the back, your ramp door. We'll do that when you pick it up. I'm just going to go inside with you and we'll look at some of the features, okay? We're still cleaning in here. Okay. So we're getting your TV hooked up right now. Below the TV is your fireplace. You'll have a remote for it. I don't, oh, here it is right here. So you have a remote for it. Okay. I don't know if we're plugged in. Oh, I guess we are. So you can set the temperature, obviously. You can set the fan speed from off, low to high. You can change the appearance of the fire. And there's a timer also, so you can set it to turn on, a half hour before you get up in the morning, for example. So it has a lot of features. And then, of course, the second remote is for your sound system, which is right here. I'm not going to go over in depth this, but it does what a typical sound system does and even more. So it's a good system. And you have all the normal stuff, Bluetooth, and you can stream off a USB and all that sort of thing. So okay. This, let me see what we have here. Okay. So this does have, looks like powered. Now this device here is a carbon monoxide and LP gas detector. It should be always be green like it is. It'll tell you if you have a carbon monoxide buildup or an LP leak. So if it goes off, you take everybody outside, shut off the gas at the front and figure out what's going on, okay? And if it's not green, get it serviced. That's very important. Alright. Refrigerator. Okay, and you do have a power inverter also. So this refrigerator is inverted. Inversion is turning 12 volts into 12 volt DC into 110 AC. So you're taking storage out of your battery and inverting it to run the refrigerator. Well, and your tow vehicle, the alternator on your tow vehicle will be charging the battery, so you know you can actually pull it down the road and keep it cool. Okay, so basically you have to, I don't know if he's got, yeah, I guess the gas must be on, so let's try it here. You go to turn it to light, then you spark it, there you go. So this is the sparker, you turn it clockwise. Of course the 3 burners and 3 knobs, and then you have your oven knob here. You go to pilot and you depress it and hold it while you're doing the procedure. Okay, let me just shut it off here. Now the pilot light for this is way at the back at the bottom, right? So with this one you have to use a grill lighter to light it. So you would basically get a long neck grill lighter. You're going to go to pilot, you're going to depress it and hold it. Then you're going to light the pilot light back there. After it lights, you still hold this in for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat it up. Then you go to operating temperature, of course. But when you shut it off, obviously the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight it each time you use it. Okay, this is your obviously a microwave, a convection microwave with it has built-in fan, low and high, and a built-in light also. So that's all in that unit. Now, sorry I'm not very smooth today. I'm usually more fluid or animated, whatever. I seem to be having a hard time here. So this is your power converter. I told you it has an inverter. Here, let me get down here so I can explain this to you. Basically, this does the opposite. This takes 110 AC and converts it to 12 volt DC. So what you have here are household type circuit breakers here. And they're labeled. There's 110 AC. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC here, and you have 12 volt fuses here, and of course they're labeled. All right. Now, if the fuses were to blow, they'll actually light up, and you can see them glowing through this tinted plastic here. All right. And very importantly, when you're plugged in to shore power, it's going to send 12 volts up to the battery and keep the battery charged, or in this case, batteries charged. Now it's smart enough to sense how much energy the batteries need, and if they're like totally charged, it'll just send a couple amps up there. If they're low, it'll send 10 or whatever it needs. So that will also keep your battery charged. When you're pulling the trailer, your tow vehicle's alternator will charge the batteries, and when you're plugged in, this power converter does. Now I remember it does. I told you that it does invert power too, which is doing just the opposite, taking 12 volt from the batteries and then turning them into 110 AC, but that's runs the refrigerator. Okay. I just want to look at this here and see what we have here. Yeah, so it looks like they're telling us it's inverting right now, the one up front, because it's got a picture of a plug. So if you don't, I'm not sure, it's the first time I've seen this, so bear with me. This style anyway. Yeah, so it does tell you. It tells you AC, which is you've got AC power. It'll also do DC power, and it has a fault light on it too. That's like I said, that particular one. That's the first time I've seen it. So just when you think you've seen it all. Okay, so this is a control panel. You have 3 of them in here. Another one up there by the bedroom, and then there's one in the back also. We'll consider this the main panel, this one right here. And this is the one I'll work from. So you just push the reset, and there you have it. My RV is filled with videos, just teaches you how to use it, tells you about it. Your awning controls, send your awnings in and out. Never leave the awnings out unattended. If you're not at the campsite, roll them in so they don't get damaged by the wind. You operate your generator here, right there. It'll prime it and everything before it starts it. So we would just push start, and we're plugged in right now. There's no reason to generate power, but it will prime it and start up. Okay. Now, lighting, you can select them individually or turn them all on and off at the same time. Your monitor panel, all your tanks, you monitor your tanks, whether your water pump's on, the water heater. Okay. So keep that in mind. It's pretty self-explanatory. But in this case, we were talking leveling, so I told you there are more features from this panel here than with the one outside. So you can auto level, of course, which is self-explanatory. The next one, once you're leveled, is auto hitch height. That'll return you back to the hitch height when you disconnected right before you leveled the last time, auto leveled the last time. Okay. Also, you can select other options here. You can run this thing manually, one jack at a time. You can auto retract, which retracts everything, including the nose, so it'll nose dive. Keep that in mind. It kind of freaks people out at first if they're not ready for it. So that's auto retract, and you can scroll down to manual mode and then push enter. So select any of these, you push enter. So if I was to do that and select enter, it'll allow me to operate all the jacks independently. There's not a really good reason to do that unless you're on some really crazy terrain and you have to, but you can do it. And also when you're using the manual mode, if you want to retract or extend, you got to select the button. So if I want to retract one of the jacks, I would push retract. If I wanted to extend it, I'd push extend and then operate it. So, okay, I think that covers it pretty well. So you can also put a USB in there, of course, and it does have a micro slot too. That's sometimes they use to program it, that sort of thing. They can flash it with like a thumb drive, for example. So, okay. Now here, and you're not going to be able to see this, but this just tells you right now we're hooked up to 30 amps. The water heater is all powered. It'll show you that everything is powered. Also, you can select different amp services. I mean, this is a 50 amp trailer, right? It's got a 50 amp cord, so you could plug it into 50. But right now, all we have available at this place is 15, 20, and 30 amps, because we don't have a 50 amp system. So that's all it's telling us. That's what's available. If it should hook up to whatever you have automatically, and it should be telling you if you're plugged into the campground with 50 amps, it should tell you that it's 50 amps. This is not showing 50 amps because we don't have a 50 amp service. Okay? All right. I hope I'm doing a good job for you here. I'm tempted to start over again sometimes, and then you have another monitor here, so you can see that. Same as the other one. You have a wardrobe slide out. Of course, the bed's not made yet, but we're still working on it. And you have some storage underneath. This is your emergency escape window. You're going to push this through, all the way through. Then you would pull the red tab and pull out the screen, and then you can just exit that way in an emergency. TV hookups here, right? A laundry chute, or laundry bag, I guess you'd just call it. Let me get it out of the way here when I close it. First time I've seen that feature too, like that. So that's your antenna. You can spin the antenna. It does not go up and down, it just rotates, but you can rotate it to tune it in. Of course, you have a second air conditioner here. That's why it's a 50 amp system, because there's two ACs. And this is the, right here, for example, these are our sensors. Okay. Let me look around here. Okay, yeah, so that about covers it. All right. So let me look around here, see if I've got everything. I think I have. Okay, and then you have the garage. Now we're waiting on a piece here. Obviously, it's the panel that goes on here. This is just the levels. Remember I showed you could check the levels up front on the panel? Well, for this back bathroom, you would check the levels here, right? This back toilet. So I told you there was a second gray tank and second set of valves for this one, right? The thing to know about, that was not going to help me. Where's the switch? Here we go. There's a flush pedal there. The thing to remember about these RV toilets, if you don't already know, is you can't use them dry. By dry, I'm talking about the black tank, which is directly below. All right. So when you pull into the campground, you're gonna, level it, hook up your power and your water. Then you come in here with your toilet chemical, 1 dose of toilet chemical. You'll step on this and let water, about a gallon or so of water. Some people use more. It's a personal preference thing. You just put water into the black tank and the chemical. You never use it dry, because if you do, the smell will be, well, it'll be serious anyway. You'll never do it twice, let's put it that way. And also can get clogged up. So you always start off both toilets with water, a gallon of water or more, and your toilet chemical, okay? Alright. Okay, so that's your second set of stairs for your patio. You've got doors, you've got the works with this one. It's really it's got everything. Of course, you have a second sound system back here. This one, you can stream off USB. It has Bluetooth, so you can hook up with your phone or your tablet. This HDMI is an in, so once you get a TV up there, if you wanted to go into the system with a portable Blu-ray player or one of those game machines for a rainy day or something like that, you can go into the system with this HDMI. Also, it has 2 speaker zones, inside and outside. It has AM/FM radio, so it's a good overall radio. These are for your outside speakers here, so you get the general idea. All right, your bed goes up and down. We'll get into this when you come to pick up, but you can raise the bed up out of the way. You can flip these over and turn this into a bed if you want to. The 2 couches into a bed, and that moves up and down. You can move them both out of the way. A lot of configurations. Of course, if you're hauling something, you know, dirt bikes or 4-wheelers or whatever you have, or regular bikes, you know, you obviously can raise this out of the way, and then when you take them out while you're camping, you can configure it to do whatever you want. There's also another table for this, a table that goes in there, and it's under the bed, I believe. I think. I better go look before I tell you that. I see so many trailers, sometimes I get confused which is which. Let me come back here. Let's see if yeah, so you do have a table under there. So that's where that table would go. Okay. Alrighty. So, you have a loft, of course. That's why you have 2 ladders, one for the bed here and then one for the loft, which is up there. So that's a kid's room. I mean, kids love that sort of thing. I know I would have when I was a kid. Now I don't think I'd be all that crazy about it, but okay. So that, I guess that about covers it back here. When you pick up, we're going to operate everything for you, and when it comes to the dropping the ramp and that whole thing. So we'll go through that with you. All right. This is also plumbed for pre-plumbed for a washer dryer combo. So if you want to, you can hook up a washer and dryer, and it would fit right here in this area right here. Okay. All right. Well, first of all, thank you for buying your trailer here at National RV Detroit, and second of all, I hope I did all right with this video and covered everything. Also, I want you to keep in mind what I told you about inspecting and resealing or taking care of your roof as needed. That's like the most important thing. That's just as important as winterizing the trailer. You've got to do that regularly. The manufacturer says every 90 days, and you're just staying ahead of it, basically. You go up there for years and not have to do anything, but you might go up in 6 months and something needs to be dealt with. That's why you inspect it, okay? All right, thank you very much.